Every time the conversation turns to aliens, characters from the Star Wars universe come to mind, the creepy extraterrestrial invaders from War of the Worlds, or the charismatic alien who loves cats from the ALF series. In any case, no one would doubt that the theme of Brothers in Mind has excited humanity for generations. It serves as fertile ground for the entertainment industry: films, computer games, science fiction novels. There are even those for whom aliens are not just a fictional invention. Across the globe, thousands of people claim to have become victims of experiments by extraterrestrial intelligence. They were abducted, and some, horror of horrors, were made to bear offspring for their alien captors. Nonsense, you might say. Some would disagree with you. The St. Lawrence Agency in Florida, USA, seriously offers insurance for foreign implants in the human body. In general, our minds are captivated by mysterious cosmic friends, or invaders. This cannot be disputed, but what about their opinion of us? Do we often think about how an average representative of another world would perceive a human being, and would they perceive us at all? What might an alien from Earth think upon finding themselves on our old planet? Let's try to imagine this for a few minutes. Stepping into the shoes of an extraterrestrial. Turn on your imagination, and here we go. Imagine you are a typical representative of a civilization inhabiting a certain planet in the constellation Golden Fish. Your name is Zoitberg, and we sincerely hope you like your new name. Also, assume that most science fiction writers and futurists were right, and the level of technological development of your civilization significantly exceeds all earthly counterparts. You have the ability to travel through the cosmic expanses on ships capable of moving at the speed of light. One can assume that a high technological level has influenced not only engineering, but also, for example, medicine. Representatives of your race can live for a very long time. Let's take it a step further. You have most likely long learned to extract rare materials from the most ordinary ones. This means you have no need for energy or food. A wonderful picture is painted, isn't it? However, there's a small problem hidden here. Imagine for a moment that you have everything, and you lack nothing. You don't need to go to school or work. You don't need to toil for resources or even fear debilitating illness or death. Medicine works wonders. You are practically immortal. The social structure seems to have come straight out of the pages of the classical utopia of Campanella. Everything is wonderful. But what's next? What can an alien do if there is nothing left to strive for? Life cannot be improved. It is already good enough. The answer is both complex and simple at the same time, for the sheer pursuit of knowledge. You, our channel subscribers, know well that the boundaries of the known are constantly being pushed further. Science does not stand still. What seemed like a fairy tale centuries ago is now a norm of daily life. By answering one question, science usually poses several more, and so it goes on infinitely. Let's assume that what drives Zoitberg, that is you, is an insatiable thirst for knowledge. You have already observed a supernova explosion, created artificial life, and now your goal is to observe the customs and ways of life of the natives of cosmic peripheries. That is why you board your cozy starship and head towards Earth. What do you think you will see as you approach the third planet from the Sun? Space debris, in orbit, of course. But that's not so important. You begin to descend to the surface, breaking through the atmosphere, and realize that the Earthlings have managed to detect you after all. You weren't really hiding, but instead of a grand, joyful meeting, soldiers and military equipment are already waiting for you. Earthlings are always prepared for the worst. They learned this from their own science fiction movies, which, unfortunately, Zoidberg has not seen. By the way, the famous astronomer Chris Imlay even put forward a theory that aliens still do not make contact with humanity, precisely because of its aggressiveness. Aliens supposedly can observe military actions on Earth and are most likely completely convinced that we are governed not by reason, but by almost animal instincts to kill, conquer, and consume. So what should Zoidberg do with this? Mustering his will, under no circumstances should he respond to aggression with aggression, and should try to activate his cloaking mode, lie low, wait, and after some time settle in a location that is hard for humans to reach. We are confident that there is a device on board capable of giving Zoidberg a human appearance. Or perhaps he can willingly transform into representatives of other species. We assume that your next destination will be some nearby city of humans. You need to observe the daily life of people up close. What will you see? An anthill made up of millions of bustling people. Work is boiling everywhere. People seem very active. You might even start to think that humanity is at a very high level of technical and social development. Each person has a device for communication and access to the global network, which they proudly call a smartphone. Some are particularly proud of their smartphones with the image of a bitten fruit. It is here that you will start to see the drawbacks. Smoke from the combustion of fossil fuels, based on the remains of ancient plants and animals, swirls in the air. Here, it is called oil. The planet's ecology is in a precarious state. Life is still possible, but you wonder why people do not understand what this could lead to. Medicine is, for the most part, in a deplorable condition. Many diseases have no available cures, and the average life expectancy barely approaches the mark of 60 years. Most people simply cannot afford expensive medications, even for the simplest ailments. Some do not even have access to basic drinking water. Here you will encounter yet another problem of humanity: horrific social inequality. A small group of wealthy individuals dominates the world, dictating their will to the rest through thousands of social institutions. Researchers at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich have identified a relatively small group of interconnected transnational corporations that exert significant influence over the global economy. You will be horrified to learn that approximately 40% of the world's wealth is controlled by transnational corporations. On your planet, you, Zoitberg, have always been valued for your understanding and compassion. Therefore, you decide to stay on Earth a little longer to learn more about people. You gain the trust of an average Earthling and carefully extract the secrets of earthly society from him. It turns out that all people are obsessed with money, power, and career. There are, of course, outliers who are passionate about art or science, but the world is ruled by those who have devoted their entire lives to extraction and consumption. You come to bleak conclusions. Earthlings are clearly not ready for serious contact. They need to overcome their problems, come to an agreement with one another, and step hand in hand into the future. With these heavy thoughts, you return to your spaceship, but you make a promise to yourself to come back to Earth many years later and see if humanity has managed to become better. You believe in this. After all, you have seen so much beautiful things on Earth. It all feels like the plot of yet another science fiction film, doesn't it? Perhaps. Scientists from around the world ponder the possible contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. What will they be like? Will they resemble the hero of our video? Or will they be the complete opposite? We tried to humorously describe a meeting with a typical alien from another Hollywood movie. But what will happen if this guest is completely different from our concept of life itself? Stanisław Lem, a famous Polish writer, science fiction author, and skeptic regarding the first contact with alien civilization, wrote, "We do not want to conquer space at all. We just want to expand Earth to its limits. We are not looking for anyone but humanity. We do not need other worlds. We need our reflection. We do not know what to do with other worlds." As Carl Sagan urged, humanity must strive to protect the fragile balance and the flickering spark of life that has inexplicably ignited in the cosmic darkness. Since the first mentions of monstrous cosmic wanderers and black holes appeared, they have been stirring human imagination. And believe me, discussing these objects gives something to marvel at, even for gray-haired scientists, not only for ordinary citizens.